Hello campers! Welcome back to another exciting day here at Camp Onseyawa 2020. I hope you've all been having a ton of fun finding edible foods in your lawn and bringing them inside and cooking them. And the other day, our candied nuts episode went over so well, I figured we'd do another delicious dessert episode. So today, we are going to be making baked cinnamon apples and also apple crisp with ice cream. Now calm down, calm down. I know you're all thinking, man, that looks really good. But before we start, let's not forget our rules. Never eat anything that you find unless you're sure what it is, and make sure you have an adult with you throughout this entire process. With that being said, hey Gabe and Theo, how about today you guys go out and find some apples and pears for this week's episode? Okay, now that Gabe and Theo have got us some apples and some pears, let's make our first dessert for the day. And that is going to be what's called a baked apple. But don't worry, you don't have to bake it if you don't want to. You can just throw it right in the microwave. So come on over and let's take a look here. So you're gonna take your apple, and we're basically gonna pretend kind of like we're carving a pumpkin. You can take a butter knife, and we're just gonna stick that butter knife in and kind of work your way around just like you would for taking the top off a pumpkin. Now you want to make sure that you don't go all the way through, because we need this to hold the butter and the sugar and things like that. So once I've gone all the way around with the butter knife, I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to Pop. Pop it right off. Just like that. You want to try and get the seeds out of there, or as many as you can without going through the apple. There. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some butter, and you're going to want to cut a half a tablespoon. So it's got a line for 1 tablespoon. We're going to just cut it right in half there. Just like that. And we're going to throw that big old glob of butter right on the top. Then what we're going to do is take some brown sugar, throw that on there. And what you can also do is throw some vanilla if you want in there. So throw a couple drops of vanilla in. And the most important, some ground cinnamon. This is not ground cinnamon like it grows on the ground. It's ground cinnamon because it is ground into powder. There. Now you're ready to eat it. Oh wait, you should probably cook it first. So then we'll throw it on a plate and throw it into the microwave. I'm going to throw it in for 1.5 minutes and see if that does it. Well, that's 2 minutes. Oh well. 2 minutes it is. Okay, while that's microwaving, how about we work on the apple pear crisp? This tastes so good, especially with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. And it's so easy to make. So first things first, let's cut up some of these apples. Now, we don't want the core at all. And I think I've used this tool in the past, if I can find it. Here it is. If you have one of these nifty things, they make it a lot easier. It decores the apple, just like that. But if not, you can even use a butter knife. That'll get the job done. And just cut with the butter knife 4 times. Go down here on one side of the core. Go down here. Go down here. And go down here. Then throw the core out. Now, we don't need these pieces of apple quite this big. You can if you want to. There's nothing wrong with having huge chunks of apple in your apple crisp, but normally we'll cut them, about half the size. And just like before, just a butter knife will do the job. And we can kind of just throw them right into the pan. Just like that. Sounds like our baked apple is done. Okay, let's take a look at that baked apple. Now you'll know if it's done because the inside of the apple will be super soft like applesauce. And look at that. See how it's all just breaking right apart? That means it's ready. And you've got all this delicious sauce at the bottom. Awesome. And you basically eat this just like you would a baked potato. Just scoop all the delicious goodness right out of it. And you can eat the skin too. But delicious applesauce inside it. So that's how you make a baked apple in the microwave. Super easy, just needs a few ingredients, and boy, does it taste really good. So let's get back to making our apple pear crisp now that that's done. So these pears are a little more tricky to cut up. So I'm going to cut the top off them. Apparently a butter knife doesn't work too well for these. So you're going to have your parents cut these then. I'm sure you guys can use a butter knife safely, but pear is just a little too hard. So have an adult do the cutting for the pears. But if you come here and take a look at this pear, it doesn't have a core like an apple. The seeds are kind of just mixed all in the middle in random areas. So now that I've cut the top and bottom off, I can lay it flat and cut it a lot safer. And I'm just going to cut down here. See how the seeds just kind of sit in random places in the middle, don't necessarily have a core. And then we'll just cut that up, throw it on in with our apples. There we go. There is our apples and our pears. So now what we're going to do is add a cup of oatmeal. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm literally just going to fill a cup. I'm not even measuring. Really. It's good luck to spill oatmeal when you're making apple crisp. So throw our cup in there. And then I'm going to take 2 big spoonfuls of brown sugar. Throw that in there. And then I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of butter. Throw that in there. Our cinnamon. Just kind of eyeballing, throwing some of that in. And once again, vanilla. You don't have to use vanilla, but I think it tastes pretty good to add a little in. So I just threw about a tablespoon in there. And now let's throw it on the stove on low heat. Now we're going to want to keep an eye stirring this because we don't really have any water in there. The butter is the only thing that's going to keep it, kind of moist. So let me get a wooden spoon here. And let's push this butter to the bottom. So it can melt. I'm going to throw just a teeny little bit of water in. Just because I got a frozen thing of butter in there. And I want it to all mix together. See that butter right there? If you can help it, use thawed butter. Because that's frozen butter there, so it's not mixing very well. So it's just adding a little more time for me to get it melted so I can mix it in. There we go. So I'm just working all the oatmeal and apples around and working them into the butter as the butter melts. Trying to keep that butter on the bottom of the pan. There we go. Looks like it's almost ready. It only takes a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Okay. Then what we're going to do is throw some on a plate here. Just like that. Take some ice cream. Throw a big old glob of ice cream right on top. Okay. How's that look, guys? There you have it. An apple crisp. And it only took about 5 minutes to make. And let's not forget our baked apple. I think you guys are going to like making these a lot better than some of those other plants we've been eating. How about we give this one a try? Awesome. By try, I mean, how about I sit here and eat the whole thing right in front of you? So there we have it. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode of Edible Outdoors, and I will see all of you tomorrow. How many more days do we have left? After today, we've only got 2 more days of camp. Can you believe how fast this year is going by already? I really hope you enjoy it though, guys. So I'll see you tomorrow.